Hundreds of women from across the country turned out to the Nigerian capital this week to stand alongside those spearheading a push to introduce a quota for female legislators. Currently, only 4 senators out of 109 and 16 out of the 360 members of the House of Representatives are women. Now, the special seats bill, as it's called, would add one woman-only seat for both the House and Senate in each of the country's 36 states, plus the federal capital territory. But it is an ambitious push that has run into hurdles before. To break it all down, with me now is Brenda Anugwon, who is the head of the Nigerian Women's Trust Fund. Brenda, thank you so much for making the time to speak to me. Now, as I mentioned before, there have been attempts to bring in bills like this before. They've not got very far. What's behind this latest push? Why now?
Thank you so much, Georgia. So in 2022, the gender bills, as they were called, were thrown out of the National Assembly, perhaps because they were not ready, or perhaps they saw certain words like equality. But right now, there is a bigger push because we have more support, we have more he for she's, and we actually have support from the principal officers within the National Assembly. For instance, the Deputy Speaker. So that's what makes this one very special.
So there have been a decline in the number of female political leadership over the last 15 years or so. Why? What do you put that down to?
So honestly, I really can't put a finger on it, and I cannot say that the electorates do not like women. But the way that we have seen it, the trajectory, it shows that we may not have any woman in the Senate in the next assembly if nothing is done this time around. And because of that suspicion, because of that fear, that's why we are putting everything, we're using every resource we can get to ensure that this bill is passed. I know it's pretty ambitious, but we have seen other countries on the continent use laws to get more women into the political space, and that's exactly what we intend to do this time around. We don't know why the numbers are declining, but we won't let it decline further.
And what kind of impact do you think it will have on Nigeria to have more official political leadership from women? Because, I mean, it's a country that, at least in my circles, is notorious for having some very accomplished women at every level of society shaping the country. So their exclusion from political leadership seems to be a pretty, I mean, imagining a very impactful absence. So what do you think would change should you be able to address that?
Absolutely. We have very accomplished women, well educated, and we have very bold women who can stand toe-to-toe with any man. What we don't know is why we don't have such women in the leadership space. So what we intend to do is to ensure that the space is opened up for more women, because we intend to have more policies and legislations that have a human face. We also want women who will be speaking up for us when women issues come up, because we can't have men deliberating on the rights of women to give birth, anything around birth justice. It should be a woman's exclusive preserve. So we want more women who will be there to speak for us. And finally, development is faster when you have more women in the leadership space. And we need to develop in this country.
Do you think that your task, your goals have been made easier or hindered by the attention that was attracted earlier this year by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduogan, who was actually suspended from the chamber after she accused the Senate president of sexual harassment? Did that whip up the kind of attention you can use to your advantage, or did that set you back at all?
Well, so far, it has had no effect on this bill specifically, but I'm hoping that the he for she's will not relent. I hope they will not sit back. I'm hoping that nobody will turn around or turn their backs on this bill. We've come so far. We cannot go back right now. These allegations, how unfortunate, rather unfortunate, we won't let anything draw us back. Irrespective of what happens, we still will continue to advocate for the passage of the reserved seats bill.
Thank you so much. Brenda Anugwon, the head of the Nigerian Women's Trust Fund, speaking to me about the push for more female political leadership and seats in the House and Senate in Nigeria.